Alright, I am trying to stream, but there is something wrong. Oh, there I am. So, I'm not sure what happened, but hi guys, it's day 66 of my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. It's Karen. I was just trying to stream and it like errored on YouTube side, so then I quit my stream on OBS, but then it was still streaming, so I just started streaming again. So I hope this is actually recording. Because I'm not recording this on my... I'm not making a duplicate recording. I'm just uploading this live stream stuff to the YouTubes. So anyway, it's day 66 of my challenge. And I was working on this bottom panel today. I worked a little bit earlier this afternoon, and I just was trying to do this guy down here in the corner. I struggled with both of these characters in this panel. She's totally done and inked. I'm not sure if I'm happy with her, but it is what it is. And then this guy, I just finished sketching in, or roughing in. I could not, for the life of me, get this angle. And I had like used reference, and I tried to draw from my head, and I did. And then I remembered that, like a dummy, I have Daz 3D Studio. I used to have Poser, but I don't think I have that anymore. And I'm not ashamed to use it. So I'm like so senile, I totally forgot I had that program. So this was the original SketchUp that I was going off of. And I didn't want just a profile shot. I wanted it to be from behind. You can see how here it's just the cutout placeholder. In both of these panels up here, I had him in profile, and I didn't want him in profile again. I wanted it to be slightly different. So I thought, well, I don't want him to be in 3/4 view, so I'm going to have him like looking, you know, that back 3/4 view shot / profile / trickiness, and I just couldn't get it. So then I brought in, so I opened up after struggling for like an hour. I said, the heck with this. And I brought in Daz. I did a Daz pose model. So I just have like whatever free crap came with. I don't have any like, I don't spend money on Daz or whatever. So whatever was in the program I just used. Because I'm not like trying to like make... I'm just trying to get the basic anatomy down, and you can't just use a Daz model anyway because they're always slightly off, so you have to draw it over in your own style or whatever. So luckily I had this hat and this guy, so I think I threw on some facial hair. This is a really crap what am I trying to say? It's let's see, I'll get it on normal. And off of blue. There we go, now you can see it better. I threw on some facial hair just so I knew where the mustache would go. There's some pose skin thing in there that had some guy with mustache. So anyway, this is a young dude, and he doesn't look like my middle-aged character, but I just wanted to get the proportions and this is like the most awkward angle to draw. This one and like looking up from underneath somebody's chin is like the upshot, you know, that's the worst. And have them look like your characters and be on model. And I just, you know, I don't know that I succeeded when I overdrew, but yeah, I just needed help. And like I said, I'm not ashamed of using it anymore. I'm too old to worry about this crap. I want to get this shit done. I don't need to be a purist. So I'm sure some people totally disagree with me, but so then I sketched that in, and you can see that he doesn't look anything like, I hope he doesn't look anything like the model. So I have a feeling, though, it's still going to be tricky when I try to, what is his insignia? It's a bar and then a triangle underneath it. I think it's going to be tricky when I try to ink this and have it look right. So, yeah, so bear with me. So I'm going to do that here on the stream. And then I'm going to call it a night. So, anywho, that's what I did today, guys. I hope you all were productive. Question, leave in the comments. When you make the bird, do you hold your fingers the way she is in this picture? Or do you do it with your thumb out? Which way do you do it? What's your natural way to do it? I remember being young, like, you know, 10, and practicing trying to get it like with my thumb out and just my fingers, you know, like now I think I just naturally do it this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm just curious, what is your preferred way of flipping people off? If you have one, leave it in the comments below. Yes, indeed. So, I'm a little bit concerned also about drawing this guy in because he's like the largest, like he's all close up and stuff, you know? So I can't just like cheese in is my word for tonight. I can't just totally cheese. I gotta be slightly more accurate. Let's put it that way. What's going on here? I think I'm on the wrong layer. Or rather, I should be slightly more accurate. I don't know. So, but I have to remember that I am not relying just on inks. I am going to be shading this in somehow, so it doesn't have to be too splendid. I even changed the hat, right? I changed the bill of the hat and stuff from what the 3D model was. So again, it was just to try to help me visualize because I just was not succeeding in making something that looked remotely acceptable. So Jim Lee had uploaded a live stream he did on Twitch onto YouTube, and I watched it today. It was of the Joker and Harley Quinn. And he was auctioning it off, the finished drawing. And he was sick. I felt bad for him. But I was like watching it, you know, because I'm trying to watch more of his stuff. And he started off with a really large, loose gesture of Harley. And then as he was whittling it down, he referred to it as, like, when he was, like, tightening up the drawing, he was making her smaller, more tight, yeah. He was actually making her proportions smaller, and he was tightening it up. Let me quit this. I think I'm getting a little... Hold on a second. Anyway, and he referred to it as a sculptor carving down, like as you carve into it, you carve, I forget his exact words, but as a sculptor with a carving into a block of clay and making smaller the final thing. Anyway, so, and he had drawn Harley very lean and athletic, like slender. And like there was a guy on there that was like, don't carve away those boobies, or, and then he was like saying, keep those, you know, she needs more curves, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, first of all, she was plenty sexy the way he drew her. And secondly, who goes onto the stream in a professional that you like hero worship and say shit like that? Like, I don't know, man. I was just like, what? I would never speak to somebody like that. Like, yeah, make sure you keep those titties big, or boobies, or whatever. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Needs more curves. Like, who are you to tell Jim Lee what the hell? Oh my God. I was like... I was pretty horrified. I mean, clearly, you guys listen to me. I like curse like a sailor, and I'm like freaking raunchy, but I wouldn't, that's on my own stream. I wouldn't go on to like Jim Lee's Twitch and talk to him like that. And like who, anyway, why is our guys he shouldn't be talking about girls like that anyway. So I was really irritated by that. I can tell you right now that that dude would hate this comic that I'm working on, because when I do the shower scene, this chick, she's going to be topless, and she's very small busted. So he would not like this. He would not find her attractive at all, apparently. So I'm glad that I am just doing my little hobby on the corner of the internet where hardly anybody notices, because like I can't even imagine how these big time creators like have to deal with these people and not get upset or offended. I'm sure he just blew, like, I'm sure Jim Lee has like heard it all and like seen it all and like just like whatever, dudes, you know? And nobody called that guy out or anything. Nobody was like, I mean, it was just a nothing burger, right? Because everybody just like blew it off, but or maybe they agreed. No, I don't think anybody agreed. But then somebody else said that he was getting more critiques on that piece than like they see on DeviantArt or something. I don't know. People were really like, I guess, after him or something. But anyway, whatever. He just kept drawing. He just kept drawing his thing. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm like all for like sexy pinups and curvy women. That's fine. I've drawn them. I appreciate them, but I wouldn't like say shit like that to somebody, some professional artist while I was watching their stream. And then like, even if I thought, you know, like you don't even need to say it. Like what I guess is like, even if he thought that and he was like requesting like, you know, hey Jim, you know, watch out. You don't make her chest any smaller. You know, he didn't have to say it in such a coarse manner. Are you listening, Sabethi? So, I guess my feminist was coming out. I was really annoyed. I don't like it when guys talk like that. And it's like one thing if like, you know, you're with a girl and, you know, it's okay. I just don't like people talking like that. Like, maybe I'm like old school or something, but you just don't say the word boobs or tits like that in a semi-professional like fan setting. Like you just don't. You shouldn't say shit like that. Certainly. I don't know. That was one of the reasons I had created this character. you know, to go back to when I first created this character, when she was white and red haired, but she was still the same body type, and she is very not the typical. Again, remember, I created this character in the 90s when everything in the comics industry at that time was drawn by Jim Lee and all those guys that would go on to be like the Image superstars, but all the women had like broken backs and were like outrageously proportioned, and thanks to Bethy. And it's not that they were, it's not that I didn't like curvy. Let me put it to you this way. Jim Lee now is like freaking amazing, okay? But like there's a huge difference between Adam Hughes's women and like Rob Liefeld's women from the 90s, all right? I love the way Adam Hughes draws his enormously chested, sexy, strong women. I am a huge Adam Hughes fan. I absolutely love his work. That is so sexy and so strong and so anatomically correct and not offensive, even when he's being tongue-in-cheek and being really raunchy. I adore him. So there, you know, it's not about that women can't be, you know, pin-up, sexy, totally feminine, totally blown out. You know, there is a place for that, but, you know, there was like, it's the same thing that irritates me about the whole She-Ra controversy. I think she looks great. I think we should be celebrating all kinds of body types. And athletic, the truth is, most athletic women, when they're, like, the actual hard facts are, if you look at any athlete, like a runner or a bodybuilder or anything else that's a woman, when she puts in that amount of effort, she loses her boobs. Every single one. Gymnasts, swimmers, if you look at any Olympian, they almost all have lost their boobs. And only the girls who get the implants will end up with the boobies still. And there I'm using the words. So, and why is that? What are mammaries mostly made out of? Well, there's mammary tissue and there's fat. So if you're super athletic, you will lose your boobs. You will also lose your period and the rest of your body fat. So it is not realistic to expect an athletic woman to have giant knockers, huge tracts of land, as they are called in certain parts of Monty Python world. She's got huge tracts of land, you know. So, is it sexy to have huge tracts of land? Do most guys seem to like that? Most, not all. Some guys are leg dudes. Some guys just like a handful, you know. Anyway, point being, I don't even know where I went off on this whole thing. Is that this main character of mine, when I created her, I was like full on like rebelling against everything that was going on in the 90s comics. Now listen, I also loved ElfQuest, and those ladies, she had female elves in there that had different sized breasts from large to small. And I liked that representation. Like Dewshine, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the comic, but Dewshine had very small chest, and she was very, I'll say elfin, even though of course she's an elf, but she was very atypical. Most of the elves, females, had large breasts, and she had very small ones, very slight. She was very delicate. But you know, I loved that she was included, and she was, you know, she was gorgeous. Like, I just wish that comics, I wish that, I mean, like I said, I love pinup art, man, but I just wish there was more. It wasn't just about guys saying, "Oh, she needs big tits." You know, I don't like that. That's another reason I love Strangers in Paradise so much, was because Francine was she was the love interest. And she was not skinny. She wasn't fat, but she had rolls. She was not in shape. She wasn't like, you know. So anyway, that's all I have to say, is that please, if you're going to ask Jim Lee to, you know, give Harley Quinn larger bosom, please just don't be so, I don't know. First of all, don't presume. Like, who the hell are you? She was plenty big, first of all. And secondly, come on, dude. And thirdly, Jim Lee didn't seem to give a crap, so I'm not like really outraged. I'm just like, I was just like, it's more of like, not the request itself. Again, it's like the language and like, dudes, come on. I'd probably, if I was sitting there with Jim Lee, I'd be so tongue-tied I wouldn't know what to say. I love his art a lot more now that he's, you know, than I did when he was doing his early stuff. He is a master at what he does. So I hope this guy looks sort of, he doesn't really look like, I don't know, he's as good as I can get at this angle. And I couldn't quite get this, her eyes right, so I need to layer this. This is the Officer Inks. Ooh. So anyway, I know a lot of people don't agree with the way I think about comics, and, you know, it probably won't win me any fans or likes, but you know, it's like, again, I'm not saying that women shouldn't be sexy. Like, okay, so to contrast, the other chick in this comic, I am making sure that she is very curvy and is going to be, because that is who she is. So I guess I just want like different representations, and, you know, not everybody has to be, I don't know. So I'm not like not putting any of that in this comic. I'm totally putting that in this comic. It's just that, and I like how sexy that other girl is. I keep trying to emphasize how curvy she is, how big her booty is, and how sexy and feminine she is. I keep trying to include that in here. Like, when I draw her, I consciously think of that. So I just don't like it when women are, I think it's better now, but, you know, for a long time, there wasn't really good representation of women in comics. But now, I mean, you know, and there's so many, mostly the web comics. There's so many web comics created by girls now. So many. All right, so thank you to Daz for helping me cheat. I think this guy is sort of acceptable now. He's profile, but he's not 100% profile. He's got that, like he's turning away kind of look. Hopefully I don't know. I still kind of flattened him out a little bit, it looks like, but well. I'm not sure if I should do like, since I've got the heat, since I'm doing that elaborate shading on this, I don't think I need to add much more line work on him. So, okay, so then what's the background like? Here, let's throw the background back in. I'm still not sure. Part of me wants to keep her eyes like that because A, I could not draw her eyes looking at him correctly no matter what I did. And B, because she, I mean, all right, let's see. What is this at 17.5? 17.5, the actual size. I don't know. She's kind of evil in that moment, right? So, I don't know. I'll leave it for now. I'm worried that, like, I'm just still so hung up on the fact that I cannot make everybody look perfectly on model, and, like, I'm worried that people aren't going to know who, like, I'm worried that my consistency isn't good, and I don't know. These things hang me up, and it's evil. And I'm trying really hard not to, that line is wrong. I'm trying really hard not to, like, I know it's an excuse. I know it's an excuse to keep me from working on stuff. I had a hard day today, like wanting to get back to this. I was not feeling the love for the project, as it were. I was not feeling that my skills were up to par. And that's okay. We all go through that. All I can do is keep doing it. Keep on keeping on. All right, I'm just going to see how this page is. So the main information on this. All right, so we have it leading into here. We have the eye leading from the left down straight into the main character. Then the next large panel that we immediately look at the screen, and actually this screen is the most important part of this whole page, because this tells us who the main character is. This is going to have her name and her, you know, like, so I don't have to have a voiceover saying, "My name is Zara Nova. I'm a part of an elite task force that did it." You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to. So that, and also because remember when I first drafted this, it was going to have no dialogue at all. So that's why this was going to be the most. And then, yeah, then this wasn't in the original thumbnails. And I don't know, Zabethy, naughty, rude. She's not evil like a demon or anything. She's anti-authority, I guess. Yeah, and so then I'm going to need to probably have this the lightest around her hand, the lightest part of the picture of that, because it doesn't automatically lead the eye. So then I'll have to use the shading. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I'll have to use the shading here, and depending on where I put the text, whatever the text is here, I'll have to have the lines of the room, the perspective lines kind of also help. Her hair brings your eye back off to the next panel. Well, we'll see what I do. But yeah, it's those feelings of not being good enough, that I wasn't good enough to do comics, kept me from doing comics for 20 fucking years. Longer than that. 25 years, something like that, because I'm freaking old, as you know. So I've put this off for more than 20 years. So what does that say? What does that say to all you younger people out there? Don't be like Karen. Don't do it. Whenever I feel bad about like what I'm doing, I always think about what like Jason Brubaker says on he's always answering, people always asking him, how do I get better at making comics? And what is his answer always to those people in his stream? His answer always is, you get better at comics by making comics. It's the only way to learn. So every time I start to feel like, oh, why am I doing this? This is awful. I can't do it. I was like, you know, the typical angsty artist bullshit. I say to myself, what does Jason Brubaker say? Jason Brubaker says, the only way to get good at making comics is to make comics. So by the time I get done with page 30 of this comic, I'll probably be a lot better than I was at page 1, right? In theory. So. And a lot of it is just like self-distortion. I feel like sometimes, this is not to be insensitive to people with eating disorders, but I feel like I have like an artistic disorder as far as like, you know, people with eating disorders always think that they're fat no matter how thin they are. So they keep trying because they can't see in the mirror what the truth is. They have a distortion about themselves. I feel like I have the same thing about my art. It's not that I'm perfect by any stretch. I know that every artist, no matter how much ability they have, can always learn and can always improve. But I feel like with any project that I make, no matter what it is, here's some real talk for you guys. Luckily, I don't have very many viewers of mine, so nobody will ever really hear all this except for Zabethy. Anyway, if she's even listening, I don't know. She might have me on mute. The point is that I feel like I have this distortion about, I can't see it for what it truly is. I cannot self-analyze accurately what needs. I know what needs fixing, but I can't see what doesn't need fixing. So, and then it all looks like it needs fixing. So anyway, that was a realization I had this week, was to think of it like somebody with an eating disorder, in the sense that I have a distortion. So I'm going to delete this. I don't need it anymore. There's a distortion there that I need to learn to see beyond. I don't need that anymore. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I have the officer and I have her, I think. And now I need to turn them off. Not really. I need to turn them way down. Wrong thing. I need to turn them way down. And then there was a meme. There was like on Twitter today. I shared it with one of my with a Twitter friend who also needed to hear it today. But I'm gonna get it out, and I'm gonna go back on my Twitter on my phone and find it. I should this is like one of the many things I should like print out and put on my wall and stare at every time I freak out. The quote was by Debbie Ridpath Ohi. I think she's a children's book illustrator. She said, artists are people who have learned to live with doubt and do the work anyway. Artists are people who have learned to live with doubt and do the work anyway. I feel like I am learning how to live with doubt as I do the work anyway. I'm not quite there yet. So Anyway, today I was feeling the doubt. I was feeling all the doubt. All of it. Oh, look, this is the screen behind him. So I'm gonna keep making live stream my pages until the 100 days is over, and after that I'm gonna stop live streaming my pages because that's when this is gonna go to Patreon. I mean, since it's going to be Patreon only for now, at least the web version. After my 100 days, I'm not gonna do. I might stream a panel or two, but I'm not going to stream the whole process anymore. Oops. All right. Stop somewhere over there. Now see, I could I don't have to put the background in on this panel. I could just put shading back there. No, I'm just going to draw it. I don't care. The model's already there. It's not hurting anything. It's not like it's going to take me. It's going to take me longer to freaking shade the damn thing than it is to trace over the model. But I'm going to probably keep it simple with just simple gradient and stuff because I'm going to have like text balloons and things in here, I think. So we'll see. I got to take some time when my son is at school this week and I need to actually like write out some dialogue for these pages and figure it out. At least put some I'm going to do the final lettering in Photoshop. So I might not even, because it's just so clunky in this program. It might be better with Japanese characters and stuff, but it is clunky I feel, with American text or Western text. So I'm just going to cheese in, there's that word again for tonight, some dialogue and captions and try to get a rough draft of maybe what they're saying on this. In the first 3 pages, how the flavor of it, and I reserve the right to change because it will just be the first draft. So. So like, even though you can see the shadow of my placeholders right back here. So even though I used the SketchUp 3D cutouts and placeholders for where the people are standing in the scene. I didn't actually like stick to them at all. They're just there for size and angle and like position. Size as far as like, you know, how they're supposed to be in the space with each other. And the same thing with this Daz model, right? He doesn't look anything, hopefully, like the actual pose doll I brought in. But, or the model, 3D GAT model, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's not right there. That has goes at an angle, doesn't it? Sorry, that was awful. La la la. La la la. It's hard to sing up high when you're being quiet. Can't get a good lungful behind your. Huh, I started humming and I lost a viewer. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm going to say that she's blocking that line because I don't feel like drawing it. Yeah, so I'll probably just stream or even do recordings and speed recordings of like panels and stuff, but I'm not going to do like sit here and show the whole page off anymore, I guess. I guess. So this is a recess, like a door or something back there. Colleen Duran is another one of my heroes. As far as drawing and who she is as a person and what she's done. Yes. And she draws beautiful women and men. Beautiful, diverse, skillfully rendered, amazing art. Realistic, sexy. Okay, that is awkward as hell. I think I'm just going to leave it off because I don't need that detail. I just need the structure back here. Let's get rid of it. And things could be different further down the hall on this side. I just don't need it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. It was tangenting with itself and looked stupid, so away it goes. Away with you. Here's, you can see the seam where I copied, like, there was only just, like, this model only had, like, one section, and I copied it and moved it down to make a long tube. So you can see the seam here. I wasn't concerned about being too accurate. Actually, and I don't know that the model was too accurate. Either that or I screwed it up when I modified it slightly. Anyway. So. Oops, wrong one. All right, I'm almost gonna leave, guys. I've about almost had it. So I could probably figure this out on my own, but it would take me days to get this perspective right. And I'm old, man. I don't have days to spend. Doesn't matter. For all I know, it's covered up by a word balloon, so I don't even know where they're gonna go. But yeah, from the next shots after this page, I'm going to model this stuff. I'm going to try to model everything myself. So that's going to take a little bit longer, but I don't want to use, I want to use, A, it doesn't hurt. I'm always looking to learn new shit, and B, then I don't have to worry about, you know, people give me grief, because at least I did all the work myself. Not that anybody's giving me grief, but this is the internet. There be trolls, you know. There be trolls. It's a wild, untamed land. Looks like I didn't finish drawing this line, which is kind of a bummer. What was I thinking? Oh, I don't need to. Hello, because look at what you got right there. The hat blocking your shit. All right, I don't think I'm gonna bisect this wall anymore. Let's see. I think it can just, yeah, I don't need to put any more detail. I need to let his eye breathe. So, leave it there. Oops, wrong layer. Neat ruler, get the right eraser on. There we go. Now, should I do this so that it, or should I just do that with the shading? I'll just try it with the shading. I can always erase that line later. So, and then bring her inks up 100%. That looks like I forgot a line there. Bummer. Didn't I? Didn't I? I did. What have I? What have I? What have I done to deserve this? What song is that from, people? What? Show in all layers, please. What have I? What have I? Have I done to deserve this? That's right. But I did it on the wrong layout again. Here we go. Delete ruler. Delete screenshot. Well, don't delete it. What the? Oh, look, I drew a box. I drew the bounding box of the 3D thing oh, God damn it. Sometimes I forget to unselect, before I take my screenshot, I forget to unselect the 3D component in SketchUp, and then it brings it in with the bounding box around it. And then when I have that, it just confuses me. It's annoying. I forget to do that. And I'm thinking I am going to have to do her. Do something with her eyes. I'm not sure. I'll leave it. And I think the officer does need a bit of a heavier line around him. Well, maybe not. Maybe just like around his Just need some line weights because he's in the foreground, you know, a bit more. I didn't need that. Heavier weight. Hello, El Capo. How are you tonight? I am just about to wrap it up. But I'm going to try to see if I can figure out how to get her pupils in here without it looking weird. I can't get her to look at him correctly. I can't get these eyes placed right. How pathetic is that? She looks odd. So I'm doing it in a different layer so I can erase as needed. She's looking back over her shoulder. Ugh. Stabilization is on again. See, now she's looking that way. That's not right. Now she's looking over there. She's still not looking at him. And it makes her look a little disturbed. Whoopsie. That eye might be okay now. But this eye still isn't right. Ugh, just not sure. All right. I'll mess with this tomorrow, maybe. I don't know, she doesn't look as cheerful. She's still not looking at him. God bless it. Cannot get this right. It's better. I think her mouth. Oh, she doesn't look right. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, I'll work on her tomorrow. File, save. I'm gonna go. I'm tired. I've been streaming for an hour. I put in more than that today on this. I'm done. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to my crazies. And I have an extra line in there again, don't I? What's that? It's like I grabbed the box line again or something. Oh, I know what that was. It was the door, but it didn't... Okay, hold up. I see what's wrong. Oh god, I didn't erase this like I was supposed to. Okay, hold on. Now I gotta fix this before I go. I'm sorry. It looks like it actually goes like this. See, the bounding box of the other thing confused me. And I forgot that I just drew straight across these gaps. So this needs to go. And this needs to go. And then this needs to go. This is a doorway. So same here, I didn't draw that. Okay, but most of that is over covered by his hat. So this goes like this. Oh, hello, thick line. I am, but I'm about to go. I found an error. I found an error, and I had to fix it before I forgot to fix it. Yes, I waxed poetic about all my problems. And ranted about feminism and comics and whatever else I did. I don't know what you heard. I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear. And I tried to fix the main character's face and her eyes, and I'm not happy with the result. Did you get your thing that you were shopping for? You didn't hear a lot? Yeah, put me on speed 2. Oh, okay. Well, I am going to sign off, so if you want to chat, you can chat, you can hit me up on Messenger if you want, because I'm going downstairs to relax with the dog and play video games before bed. So if you want to chat, I'm around. If you don't, I'll catch you tomorrow. But I am, yeah, I'm, oh, your headache still, huh? All right, well, go rest, and I'll be around tomorrow. Feel better. Feel better, feel better. All right, I'm outie. Later, guys. Thanks for stopping by and listening to my crazy stuff. I'm out of here. Adios.